mean, it's interesting. I think public advocacy is a really important part of ESG. And, I've been looking at this across different diverse groups. And I think LGBTQ is somewhat unique because you see them in a way that shows up a lot in ESG reports, much more than other diverse groups. And I was really trying to kind of think through, well, why is that? Because we had Black Lives Matter, that was kind of, it was huge and still is. Yet the sort of public statements and the advocacy was much more by individual companies, where when it comes to LGBTQ rights around the world, it's always these big coalitions of companies speaking up in favor of marriage equality. The amicus brief, which probably is the perfect example of that, but which then got sort of replicated around the world. But what's fascinating is there's the UN standards of conduct for business against LGBT discrimination. There's 400 companies that have signed on to that. And I've actually checked how many of them mention that in their ESG report. And it's a dozen. Mm. So why that disconnect? Because, the companies signing on to that's not a small deal. They will have gone with legal and can we sign on to this? There will have been a whole process. Yet only 12 will mention that in their ESG report. So what's the disconnect? And then, maybe for another time we can get into that. But I think that's a really important part that needs to show up in their ESG report.